It's Jeff Tamburello I'm the broker owner of SteelBridge Realty. I am also the director of the Southwest Florida Real Estate Investment Association. Here to talk about some analysis we did. We normally at the beginning of each month take a really quick look at the end of the month and then kind of table till the 15th, 10th to the 15th, because that's usually when everything is fully in for the data. But my first look was impressive. Our final look, somewhere between the 10th and the 15th, is going to be wow, even more wow than now. But here to talk about how September 2020 versus 2019 is to begin with. Full disclosure, this is my work done for me and shared with you. I exported all of this data from the MLS and trended it with Excel. The data for this report was done at October the 1st at 3:30 p.m. Let's talk about volume. Volume is up 50% year over year. That's pretty unprecedented. That's wow. We had over 2,000 sales counts in September. September is supposed to be one of our slowest months of the year, and that's approaching a seasonal volume. So think about that. In the middle of a pandemic, we're having an almost seasonal volume in one of what should be one of our slowest months. And actually, September, October traditionally are the months you get your good buys to then fix them up and sell them in season. Now, our average price is up 18%. The average price reflects the upper end of the market more. It's a good indicator of that. Median price kind of reflects more the lower end of the market. It's up 13%. So all around, it's just wow. Let's talk about cash sales. We have sub 3% interest rates, and 34% of the sales in 2020 were cash, as opposed to 37% being cash the previous year. So just not a huge jump in leverage. So that kind of makes it hard to compare it to '05. Now, year built, average up slightly. Average dollar per square foot is 144 versus 132. Let's talk about volume accounts by cities. The only place that this MLS was down was Captiva, and that's 20%, but there's not much for sale out there. When I look particularly at some of the areas, Sanibel, Miramar Lakes, Fort Myers Beach, Estero, Bokeelia, Alva, particularly Bokeelia, because there's not a lot of new construction going on out there, you are looking at a jump in areas that typically wealthy snowbird and second home buyers go to, which is a really good sign. Good sign for the real estate market and a good sign for the economy locally going forward. Now, this is a chart we do internally. It kind of tells you where the market is by price point. We call it a bubble chart, okay? Pretty much the breadth of the market is 150 to 250. And it's really kind of been in the same channel, except for there's just so much more volume. And it's not just there that the volume's growing. If you look at the blue line, it's all the way across. The next chart is a 500,000 to basically 1.5 million. This is really impressive too. A large part of the growth in the market is this. I mean, if you think about, you have 11 more sales at a 500,000. That's pretty significant when it comes to volume. Now, by year built, new construction is the biggest part of the market, followed by the new construction boom of the last cycle, which is a 5, 6, 7 vintage, and then everything else. But if you look at the blue line's pretty much growing everywhere. It's not just in one or two segments. It's the entire market. Now, final thoughts. To have sales counts of over 2,000 in September, I never would have thought it would have happened. The pandemic shut season down early, so I'm thinking some of this volume is the pent-up demand from then. The pricing is definitely rising faster on the upper end than the lower end. That's something to pay attention to. There is less than 3 months inventory at the time I'm making this video. Most of our growth is in new construction as well. And honestly, the better it gets, the better it gets. The cash percentage not changing significantly is definitely a game changer. You kind of wonder about 32% of the sales being cash when there's sub 3% interest rates out there. If you have any thoughts or questions, leave me a comment on the video. We've got 2 great meetings set up this month for the Southwest Florida REIA. I look forward to seeing everybody.